Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Penguins against the Central Army. For the Army, this is their 5th game in the series. The referee for tonight's game, once again, will be Yevgeny Morozov. Fellow who doesn't call too many penalties one way or the other. The linesmen will be from the NHL, Gord Brosiker and Leon Stickel.
And in goal tonight for the visitors will be the fellow who's played all the games for the Central Army. We're looking at Sergei Milnikov. There's his record, an experienced goaltender, 30 years old, who they bring in from Chelyabinsk to play for the Central team. The home goaltender tonight will be a guy who hasn't had a lot of work since Tom Barrasso got here, but we're looking at Frank Pietrangelo, who is really undefeated this year, playing 9 games with 5 wins. And this is going to be a little extra work, and Gene Ubriaco, the coach of the Penguins, says, hey, this is a game, it's a game, we're going to play it, we love to be here, and then our club has got to get back on track after taking a little pasting in Washington the other night.
Well, they had a game that one thing that he says is they're not shooting enough. It's interesting when you see a fellow like Lemieux come up with an 8-point game again. Second time this year he's done that. But he just says they're not shooting enough. In the last 3 games they've played in the league, they've had under 20 shots in each one of them. Of course, they were shut out 8-0 last game they played in Washington. From the face-off, puck is clear to the side of the net. That's Krutov trying to work it in front, and Pietrangelo gloves it and hangs on for the face-off.
Well, look at the Soviet bench. They've been very successful on this trip. There's Frank Pietrangelo, but there's Viktor Tikhonov, 5th coach of the national team in the Soviet Union. He's the fellow that Vyacheslav Fetisov says has been holding him back. Not necessarily holding him back, but he really hasn't been going out of his way to promote the move by Fetisov.
Face-off outside the blue line. And then back to get it deep in his own end is Phil Bourque, not to be mistaken for Ray Bourque. They're not related, although Phil Bourque is from Massachusetts. Bourque clears it in, and it's offside at the line. Not playing in tonight's game, Zarley Zalapsky and Paul Coffey. Both of them are injured, and that is something that bothers Gene Ubriaco a bit. He did not dress Randy Hillier for the game, and Tom Barrasso is getting a rest as well. So we won't be seeing those faces in tonight's game. So the Penguins, like so many teams in the NHL at this stage of the season, having their problems with injuries. Lemieux wins the face-off, and the puck is cleared in front of the net. Big Fetisov circles back into the corner, clears it to Krutov. Out now for Larionov at center ice. Larionov working to the line, drops it off, and there's a hard shot taken from just inside the blue line by Vladimir Konstantinov. Number 16 scored a goal against the Jersey Devils a couple of afternoons ago.
A defenseman moving up on the play, young Konstantinov. Watch him move in here with a good wrister from dead center, and this could be a problem for the Penguins for tonight with the missing Zalapsky and Coffey, who have great experience against the Soviets. The veteran defenseman in Randy Hillier, they have a relatively weaker defense than normal. And as you saw in that play, they gave up the blue line, and the Soviets got the good shot.
On the face-off, it's quickly deflected up into the crowd. That shot was taken by Yevgeny Davidov. There's Frank Pietrangelo. He hails from Niagara Falls, drafted by this club back in 1983 in the 4th round. Played a couple of years at the University of Minnesota. Brad?
He did. Last year he looked like the savior for the Penguins. They're having goaltenders problems, and he really came in and did a terrific job.
Well, we've got a hooking penalty in the center ice zone, so we'll take a break as we get the penalty sorted out. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Davidoff, 2 minutes for hooking at the 48-second mark, and right off the face-off, they're right in there on Milnikov, who goes to his knees on a play close in. It's Chris Dahlquist. Correction, that's Rob Brown who's down there in the corner.
Well, a quick shot from the corner by Mario Lemieux. He's played against Milnikov. He knows that Milnikov stays back in his net. He didn't even hesitate as the puck went into the corner. He figured that Milnikov was back in the net. Watch Milnikov, who's really deep and not turned facing Lemieux, as he shoots it at the net, and it actually lays under his right pad. He doesn't even know where it is. And a lucky break for the Soviets.
Stilled off right in there. Here's the penalty, by the way. The hook by Davidoff on the face-off. Here's Lemieux with it. Fakes the shot, gets it out to the point. The shot is taken from the point by Jim Johnson and cleared away by the Soviets to center ice. Back in his own zone. Johnson. Bork. Lemieux. Lemieux moving up on the play is Brown. Lemieux getting set. He drives it. He's wide of the net with it. And it caroms off the boards and all the way down to the Pittsburgh blue line. Johnson gets it again. Feeds it for Rob Brown, who couldn't hold it. And he takes it back behind his own net. Out near the blue line. Soviets keeping it in. That was Kazatonov. Dropped off to the side of the net for Homotov. Homotov unable to control it. Up it comes for Lemieux. Lemieux takes that pass at center ice. But he is checked by Kazatonov, who comes back. Out in front of the net it comes. Lemieux tried to dig it loose along those boards and did get it out in front. Now it's Dahlquist in the center ice zone. And the Penguins clear it in. Lemieux remains out there. Dahlquist near the blue line. Bjugstad at center ice. Drops it back. Gord Dineen clearing it in. Well wide of the net. Soviets have it once again. And it's cleared down the ice. Peter Angelo out of the net is back to pick it up as Gord Dineen, late of the New York Islander teams. The lead pass intended for Lemieux. Took it off his skate inside the blue line. They can't clear it away. Number 31 there is Humalev behind the net. Starykov's got it. Starykov banging it off the boards at center ice. Davidov. Penalty is over as it's brought back in over the line. Yemchinov. Yemchinov in front. Starykov clearing it across the goal mouth. Davidov couldn't knock it down. Out at center ice they come again with John Cullen bringing it in over the line. He stopped on the play. Davidov clears it back out to center ice. Rod Busquets for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Takes the shot. Golfs it around the boards. Goes after it himself. Tried to clear it up along the glass. Also moving in to help out on the play is Zemlak. But the Soviets have it. Cleared rink wide at center ice now. Kurutov. Kurutov dropping it off. Here's Larionov. His shot. It bounces off the shoulder of goaltender Frank Pietrangelo, and he holds on for the face-off after corralling it behind the net. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.
Pietrangelo looking at a shot from Igor Larionov, the only guy on the two big lines in the Soviets that doesn't have a goal, but he's getting dead center just as we saw earlier. And here's the shot that gets deflected. Pietrangelo has to go and catch it and track it down somehow.
Here's Troy Loney bringing it out near his own blue line, hooks it off the boards. It is picked up there by Konstantinov, tried to clear it away. Now Fetisov will try. Fetisov out at center ice for Kurutov. Kurutov, Larionov. Larionov moving in. Stops up. Waits for his people to get in position. Konstantinov around behind the net. Kurutov just let it go. Fetisov pinches in, and it comes right to Makarov. Makarov takes a bump by Jimmy Johnson, and it's hoisted out to center ice by Troy Loney. Back near his own blue line now. Konstantinov took a good whack as he got that pass away. Here's Kurutov taking a shot. That deflects up into the crowd. No, it didn't. It hit the glass and dropped back into the ice surface. Now Makarov out near the blue line. Here's a shot. That one right on, taken from the blue line by Stelnov. And the puck winds up in the corner underneath Makarov. And we'll get another face-off.
Look at Makarov, who came out of the corner like a rocket, looking for the rebound of the Fetisov shot. He was over in the corner, tied up in the play, but excellent speed. You know, he's a guy that has really kind of been underrated. He's been the best player in the Soviet Union for a number of years, but the speed of this guy is really outstanding.
And Calgary wouldn't like to get him on their roster. Well, with the captain of the Central Army, not of the national team, but he has taken over the captaincy from Fetisov. Cleared around behind the net. He may also become the captain of the national team. That's yet to be seen. But it's clear through center ice. Back to pick it up for the Soviets is Chernik. He gets the line, but it's offside. We'll get a face-off again outside the Pittsburgh blue line. Yevgeny Davidov, youngster. You see this fellow over the years. He plays with Chelyabinsk. Actually, is from out there. His third year with the Army team. Started his career with Chelyabinsk, which is in Siberia.
Well, he's had a big improvement from last year, from 2 years ago when he only had 11 goals, and then last year he moved up to 16 goals, so he's probably going to deserve some more ice time in the future.
Well, in the Soviet League, a 20-goal season is like the 20-goal season used to be in the NHL.
You could take it to the bank.
Yep. Just it cleared out. That was a big accomplishment. Now 20 goals are scored by most of the defensemen in the league, I think.
That's good point shooting.
Now inside the blue line. Beckhoff moving in, but he couldn't control it against the Pittsburgh checking. Now they come with Bill Bork leading the way. They're wide of the net. That's Kazatonov working, trying to check in the corner. Saroff also in there. As Pittsburgh moves it back and forth. Now here come the Soviets out of their own zone. Gusarov beating it off. Watch the speed now of this young man as Homotov brings it in over the line. Drops it for Kamensky. And a player goes down as Kamensky under the checking there of Dan Frawley. And I believe Frawley is going to get a tripping penalty. 5:58 gone in the period. No score in the game. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Dan Frawley off for hooking at 5:58 of the first period. Still no score in the game.
Oh, Ron, sometimes you get a penalty when you least expect it. Sometimes you want to draw a penalty. You got to help it out a little bit here. Watch Kamensky here as he's getting hooked, but now he up. Boy, I'll tell you, springboard time in the NHL. Those Russian referees can get fooled too, you know.
Well, they'll do it again. False start in the face-off circle. This is Hannon who will take the draw against Beckhoff.
These are some of the difference we're seeing. We're seeing the Beckhoff line get the first part of the power plays, when we used to always see the Larionov line get those first opportunities.
Steve Dykstra, number 22, with the puck up against the boards, trying to kick it free along the boards. Stopped on the play. Beckhoff was in there against the boards, poking it free. Out near the line, it is kept in by Beckhoff and knocked it out of midair. Now feeds it into the corner. That's Homotov. Homotov, number 15, getting set back near the line. Kazatonov to Homotov. Homotov shot, and it's off the blocker of Peter Angelo to the far side. Gusarov. Kazatonov, his shot is wide of the net. Kamensky back out for Gusarov. Gusarov has checked on the play. Kazatonov was all alone out there, went to the bench for a stick. He broke it on that slap shot. Fetisov came off the bench. He's leading the rush. Fetisov getting set up near the line. Now just leaves the puck. Into the corner it goes there. Kamensky back out to Fetisov. Fetisov over to the far side. That's Gusarov. His shot, and a good one, is wide of the net. Along the boards, Homotov. Homotov makes a move on Lemieux. Back to Homotov. Homotov parked up against the boards now. Out to Fetisov. His shot is deflected off the glass. Kamensky going after it along the boards. Gusarov. Around the boards it comes. Homotov on this side. Can't reach that puck. It's kept in. And then flipped to center ice by Lemieux. Lemieux unloading a pass there for Airy. But Airy's unable to control it inside the zone. The Penguins will make changes. And so will the Soviets. 34 seconds left in the power play. Makarov dropping it off now. Fetisov was out of position. Gets it. Gets the pass away. Larionov. Karutov. Karutov is checked. And the puck is kicked out to center ice very nicely by Dave Hannon. Turning is Larionov in his own zone. Out at center ice, Karutov. He is knocked off the puck. Now Makarov. Makarov working in. Clears it over. Intended for Konstantinov, was pinching in from the point. It's still kept in. Here's some room for Fetisov, and he drove it hard over top of the net. Now Makarov out in front again. Larionov and a dribbler to the goal mouth area. Peter Angelo covers up. Holds on for the faceoff. Igor Larionov, a little more offensive-minded, going for the net a little more, Brad.
Well, he is. This line really putting on a great display in the second half of this penalty, creating a lot more problems for that goaltender, Peter DeAngelo. Well, one of the things that the Soviets are doing in this power play, they're really shooting the puck from the point. They have no qualms about it, but the pucks haven't been getting through. Mary Lemieux got a stick on one. The forwards at the top of the boxes are really getting the stick. It means the Soviets are shooting the puck low. Anytime they start to shoot it low, a guy has a good chance to get a stick on. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you can tell when they're shooting it low by the deflections out at the blue line.
Now the face-off, Yemchinov will take the draw for the Soviets against Dave Hannon. Penalty, of course, is over. And from the face-off, turning deep in his own zone is Jim Johnson. Johnson unable to get loose. Knocked away by Kamensky. Out of center ice. And it's Hannon. Hannon over the line. Good burst of speed as he goes to his backhand and takes a shot from a bad angle. And a whistle goes as Starikov picks it up at the side of the net, and the net is off its mooring. So we're going to face off in the Soviet zone. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Almost 8 minutes gone here in the period. No score in the hockey game. As Kazatonov has checked deep in his own zone. Puck is rolled to the side of the net. Kazatonov retrieves it. Feeds it up along the boards. It goes all the way to center ice. Bortonine knocking it down out there. Checking on the play is Nemchinov. In the center ice zone. He feeds it back to the defense. Starikov is there. Soviets working it to the line. Another one of those shots from a long way out. This time Stelnov. The other defenseman taking it. Brad, you're right. We're seeing the defenseman take a lot of shots in this game so far. Puck is cleared over the line by Jay Caulfield. And back out to center ice again. Soviet racing after it on the far side. That's Dykstra. Checked up against the boards, reaches for it and gets it. Dykstra ahead at center ice for Dan Quinn. Quinn's over the line, and they had a man offside. Breaking in too quickly with Randy Cunningworth on the left side. Well, there's Dan Quinn, who got his career start in Calgary. Played his junior hockey in Belleville, the Ontario Hockey Association.
Well, he was acquired November of '86. That was the Mike Bullard deal that sent Mike Bullard out to Calgary. Dan Quinn coming here. It was one of those things. Both teams were not really doing that well, and they decided to trade players of equal ability, or so they thought. And now Mike Bullard has moved on to St. Louis and into Philadelphia.
Apparently they're very happy with his play in Philadelphia right now, but he never really did get it going in St. Louis. Up cleared into the corner. In there forechecking is Stelnov. At least in there checking in his own zone. Let's drop back. Here's another quick shot. That one wide of the net. Shot taken by Davidov. Played pretty well early in the game. On the far boards, Quinn. Quinn can't get it out of the zone. Diving for it. Trying to hook it out is Dykstra. Up against the boards. It gets a little tough in there all of a sudden. Picking it up out there is Bekov. Bekov over the line. Trying to get set in front of the net with Zelapukin, who was unable to get the shot away. And back they come. Quinn at center ice. Flipping it to the line. Knocking it down. It's Cunningworth. The shot off the elbow of goaltender Milnikov on a shot on the short side. Back they come at center ice. Soviets getting it in over the line. Bekov just easing it in over the line, but Homotov on the right side was offside. 9:40 remaining in the first period as we look at Mario Lemieux.
Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins had a great opportunity. We're going to have a look at it here. Keep your eye on Gusarov, number 5, who completely ignores Dan Quinn. Here's the first shot by Cunningworth. There's Quinn coming in from the far side, but a terrific save by Milnikov. He kind of was batting the puck. I don't know if he got on the elbow or on the forearm, but he did make a fine save. I wouldn't say it was something that you don't work on those types of saves in practice.
Now, Milnikov, a gold medalist. He played 8 games in the Winter Olympics for the Soviets. One of 4 players on this club, over 30, and we never used to see 30-year-old hockey players on the Soviet team, although you might see them on their club teams. Fetisov, Makarov, Starikov are the others. Gusarov in the corner, up along the boards, trying to get it to Kamensky. Kamensky's tied up by Bork. Now trying to dig it loose is Brown. Off free, get it to the side of the net. Now Homotov. Homotov just easing it out to center ice. Couldn't reach Kamensky with that pass. And Bork's back inside his own zone. Clears it to center ice. Bekov. Bekov feeding it to the defense. Gusarov unable to control it. Bekov tries again and then threw it right by everybody. See the type of checking we're getting in here. You see the wild passes and so on. It's usually they're trying to hurry their plays because of the checking. Now here's Lemieux. Lemieux's over the line now. Shoots it right on. Shot along the ice. And Milnikov just coolly left it for his defense to clear. Back out to center ice. Fetisov unloads the pass. In the center ice zone, Lemieux strips the puck. Lemieux being chased by Fetisov. Lemieux trying to out-muscle Fetisov and fails to do it. Cleared behind the net, out of harm's way by Homotov. Bouncing puck inside the zone. Karutov now to Fetisov. Fetisov waiting for the Soviets to complete the change. Gives it to Makarov. Makarov up against the boards now. Karutov. Karutov turning, gets it off a skate wide of the net. Johnson picks it up for the Penguins. Penguins out to center ice. Knocked down out there by John Cullen. and fed off the boards and down into the Soviet zone. Konstantinov fanned on that pass, but it was cheered over to Fetisov by Milnikov. Fetisov getting the pass away at center ice. Makarov, Fetisov pinching in on the play. There's Makarov, shot the rebound. Went wide as Fetisov had peeled away to resume his position at the point. He's got it at center ice and clears it deep into the Pittsburgh zone. And once again, the Penguins. Out at center ice they come with that lead pass. Taken by Bork, cleared in. Back to get it. Trying to control it there is Starikov. Now clears it out to center ice. The Soviets resume the attack. Makarov put it right in the slot area, but there was nobody there but Troy Loney who broke up the play. Soviets again will try to muster some kind of attack as Starikov gets it out to center ice. That pass for Homotov. Homotov's right in there, and a big save is made by Peter Angelo. Homotov in. Here's another shot. That one wide of the net taken by Humalev. Out at center ice it comes again. Stelnov over the line now. And hooked down to the ice as he was going for the net was Yemchinov. A lot of good, solid checking going on early in this game as Homotov tries to control it in the center ice zone. He's number 15 for the Soviets, working with Yemchinov right now. And now they'll complete the change. As back to get it is Malahov, making his first appearance of the game. He gets the pass away to Davidov. Davidov tried to throw it in front of the net, but it was intercepted by Chris Dahlquist. And Dahlquist out to center right. Cunninghworth can't control it. Soviets circling back. Now the long lead pass over the line for Zeledukin, who is unable to get anything away. The pass there for Dan Quinn at the Soviet blue line was knocked away. And back there is Gusarov. He takes a hit in behind the net by Dan Frawley. Winds up in the corner. Dan Quinn's got it. Quinn, a backhand pass for Frawley. Frawley trying to outmuscle one of the Soviet defenders. And the puck came right to a Soviet player. Out to center ice it comes once again. In over the line. That's Cunninghworth just turning with it and firing it out to center ice. Dan Quinn with some speed coming through center ice. Now Quinn gets set, fakes the shot, fades to the boards. Quinn being chased very closely there against the boards by Konstantinov. Fetisov on the foreboards. It's kicked away from him by Cunninghworth out in front of the net. And turning with it is Zeledukin. He gets it out to center ice, unloads the pass. Bekov leaving it there for Konstantinov. He goes in, takes a shot that's wide of the net. Now it's cleared down the ice by the Penguins. Going back to touch it for the Soviets will be Kazatonov. And after a long space of no whistles, we don't get a whistle here either. They waved off the icing.
Ron, they've got a great pace going out there right now. We haven't had a whistle for a while, but the scoring chances and we've gone over 4.5 minutes. They're going end to end out there. We finally do get a whistle, but what a great pace they're putting on tonight.
And still no score in this game. 4:46 left in the first period. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.
Pittsburgh. Well, here's a look at Mario Lemieux, chased by Fetisov, who puts the pitchfork on him, and down goes Lemieux. That's when you have the best against the best. At the other end, Homotov, Antonio Homotov coming in. Watch Peter Angelo, he makes a great save on this. Some great speed we're seeing, some good scoring chances, and a better game than maybe we anticipated at the start.
Good pace to this hockey game as Bekov gets it behind his own net and starts out now. Out at center ice. Soviets coming in. Bekov just drops it off. There's the shot. It was a hard one taken by Gusarov from the blue line. And back come the Pittsburgh Penguins with Brown dropping it for Lemieux. Lemieux floating into the basket to the Brown. He shoots it. And right on. Down goes Milnikov. Puck still inside the zone. Now cleared out to center ice. Picking it off out there is Dykstra for the Penguins. And he clears it right back in again for Dineen. Dineen loses the puck as Brown stole it. And now the Soviets counter as they bring it to center ice. Kamensky winding up the shots right on. And Peter Angelo down at the other end of the ice makes a big save. Terrific action here at the Pittsburgh Arena. 4:01 left in the first period. No score. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.
Well, look at Rob Brown, who probably had the best scoring opportunity for the Penguins. Watch here as he drops the puck. Now nobody picks him up. Mario Lemieux makes a great pass in tight to him. It's him and Melnikov, and Melnikov just outguesses him and shuts everything down along the ice. Defensemen are starting to give up the blue line, starting to get a little nervous out there.
Face off deep in the Pittsburgh zone. From the face off back to the point, there's a shot taken from the blue line by Konstantinov, who's got an excellent shot. Drops it back to Fetisov. He's now partnered with Konstantinov for the most part. Puck is cleared through center ice. Penguins trying to get loose, but Makarov intercepted that. It's stripped away from Konstantinov and back inside the Soviet zone. A little collision in there between Makarov and Jay Caulfield. Still loose inside the zone. It's hooked loose. And there's Caulfield again, piling in against the boards with Konstantinov. Don't know whether he's going to win that battle or not. Konstantinov, pretty tough guy. Back out near the line. Here's a shot wide of the net. The rebound comes off the backboards, and Konstantinov just unloaded it this time with Caulfield around him. Now they battle up against the boards. This time Caulfield goes up and is pinned against the boards and held for a face-off. Well, Big Caulfield, he's one of those guys that they picked up as a free agent. Didn't even play hockey till he was 22 years of age, but they like him around here. They say he works very, very hard.
Oh, and he put a big hit here. Watch here as Caulfield goes in. He's going to get a good piece of Makarov. Whoa, I think the end boards just moved in and hit me. That was a Mack truck.
He's a big guy. We saw him in the dressing room this morning. He's bigger than Lemieux. Oh,
yeah, he has that, from up here where we are, he has that 16 number, so if you don't see the one there, you could actually mistake him till maybe he handles a puck. But he played football till he was 22 years old. And he's actually picked up by the Penguins on the waiver draft, cost them $40,000, but they sure like his toughness.
Well, they play right at the side of the net, and Milnikov thought better of trying to play that puck, knowing that he is no Artur Irbe, and he covered it up.
I think, when you see that Irbe, when he's going to be on the national team, in my mind this year, I get a feeling that this kid has all the potential that he can actually be a better goaltender through his career than Tretiak. I was so impressed with him.
If you haven't been following the series, Irbe is the goaltender for Dinamo Riga, who, by the way, are playing in Chicago tonight. Try to keep you updated on that game as we go along. Puck is cleared to center ice and golfed in to the Pittsburgh zone by Chernik. Also in there is Zelapukin. He stopped on the play. Deneen picking it up. Deneen ahead for Johnson. Johnson's at center ice. Backhands the pass, easing it towards the zone. And Chernik picks it up. Chernik, a rink-wide pass. Soviets moving it out of their end now as Malakov sends it in. That was a great play in front of the net. Shot, and it's knocked away. Tremendous chance by Zelapukin, who was in the slot alone and tried to go high on Peter Angelo. And I think Peter Angelo shut it off on him. Oh,
Peter Angelo got a great left-handed glove on it. I think Zelapukin just tried to chip it up into the upper corner, and Peter Angelo just put that hand up a little faster than the puck got there.
Well, here's a chance again. Homotov trying to get it in front of the net for Kamensky. Pittsburgh doing a great job against the Soviet attack here. Puck is cleared near the line. Here's Bekov. Bekov clearing it rink wide. Right across the goal mouth. Homotov getting it from Kamensky. He put it across. Kamensky couldn't put his stick to it. Now from the far boards, Gusarov shoots it into the corner. That's Quinn picking it up. And it's flipped down the ice. Going back for it will be Kazatonov. No icing on the play. Boy, this game is moving along. Here's an intercepted pass inside the line by Quinn. Quinn trying to drop it off for Frawley. Frawley is checked on the play, and it's back near the blue line, where it's taken by Homotov. Homotov, he's checked on the play. Back comes Quinn. Hits the line. Checked by the back checker. That was Humalev coming back. Now the puck is cleared in front of the net. Intercepted there by Gusarov with less than a minute remaining in the period now. Soviets over the line. Davidov trying to get through the defense. He can't get at it. Stelnov goes back into his own zone. Stelnov clearing it to center ice. Humalev unable to get loose. Stelnov's got it now deep in his own zone. Over for Starikov. It's cleared out to center ice. Knocked down out there by Bork. Mario Lemieux moving in. He's unable to check it free. Bork gets it back near his own line. Stick handles around a helmet that's been lying there for a long period of time. Puck comes loose in the center ice zone as Lemieux was unable to handle it. That's Humalev getting it in over the line. Stelnoff moves in as well. Out at center ice now for Pittsburgh. It's Randy Cunneyworth over the line. He's checked as he's hit the line by Starikov. Around behind the net now. And starting out for the Soviets is Makarov. He is spun around in the center ice zone with 3 seconds left in the period. We're going to get a penalty. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Lemieux 2 minutes for hooking at the 1957 mark.
Well, when they talk about the reach of Mario Lemieux, this is not what they mean. But it was a good call by the Soviet official tonight as he really put the hook on Makarov.
Well, the period ends just 3 seconds when they drop the puck. The shot's on goal. The Soviets Central Army out shooting Pittsburgh 11-8, but nothing to show for it, except some terrific hockey. Finally, the score at the end of one period, 0-0. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Talked with Gene this morning about his adventure February 11th and 12th. World Alpine Ski Championships on CTV.
Well, you're getting back to Gene Ubriaco. What a personal guy to sit down and talk to. He's the type of guy that can sit down and talk hockey at any level and always be positive. He thinks that there's too much negativism in the National Hockey League. He says this is the greatest sport in the world. Why is everybody knocking it? We're all making money. We're having a great time. The players are making money. The owners are making money. Too much negative here. Let's promote the game.
Well, we've had certainly a difference of attitude as we've gone from city to city in this series, the way the coaching staffs have treated this game, and by extension, the teams. The ones that have treated it negatively have generally fared pretty poorly against the Soviets. The ones who have looked upon it as an opportunity to test your team against the best from the Soviet Union have generally had good games and certainly have been entertaining to their fans. Power play underway here with very little of note happening right now. That's Fetisov who brings it in over the line, unloads a pass. They try to bring the late man in there. Now Larionov getting it from Makarov. Out to the point for Stelnoff. Stelnoff moving to the middle. Now drops to Larionov. Fetisov, his shot's right on, steered into the corner. And Wendell Young has dealt with his first shot. Back out for Fetisov. He stopped. Up against the boards, Karutov having some problems, and it was batted ahead finally. So we'll have a face-off in the Pittsburgh end with 58 seconds left in the power play that Pittsburgh has going against the Soviets. You look at Karutov, who really has taken it in this series so far. In Quebec City, he took a cut along the cheekbone, and then he got it in the ear the other day in New Jersey. I said to him after the game, I said, you know, that was an accident. And he said something to me that sounded very suspiciously like two words you use when you don't believe somebody that I won't repeat.
Well, there's one thing that's been maintained in the National Hockey League for a long time. There's no such word as sorry.
What's the old line? Hockey is never having to say you're sorry. Karutov at center ice. Working to the line now. Karutov is sandwiched as he crossed the line. The main man on that was Dahlquist. Back out to center ice. Kept in nicely by Kazatonov. Now cleared out to center ice. That lead pass. Cleared in. 30 seconds left in the power play as the Soviets again try to get organized. Makarov out for Larionov. Larionov at center ice. He's checked by the back-checking Troy Loney. And Fetisov will have to go back into his own zone for it. Fetisov as checking there is Cunneyworth. Out intended for Makarov. 8 seconds left in the power play. And we'll be seeing Mario Lemieux back on the ice. Cleared off the boards by Buskus. Out to center ice. Back to get it is Malakov. He gives it to Stelnoff. Out at center ice. Brought right back in by Davidov. At center. Turning with it for the Soviets. That's Chernik. He clears it in. Davidov is after it. But it's stripped away from him by Dahlquist. Dahlquist along the boards. Cunneyworth is in there trying to help out. Forced back. Buskus doing it around the boards. Turning for Pittsburgh is Quinn. Quinn unable to get it out of the zone as it's kept in there by Stelnoff. And Wendell Young clears it up to the point, but not out. Still there, Malakov. Malakov now moves in with a little bit of room. He takes a shot. Wendell Young trying to deal with a loose puck in front. Cleared away by his defense, and Mario Lemieux now back on the ice. out near the blue line. They get set again, and that shot taken by Malakoff is wide of the net. Now Lemieux going after it along with Malakoff. Lemieux picks it up, clears it out, and Cunneyworth's got it at center ice. He goes over the line. Cunneyworth trying to drop it off for Quinn. Cunneyworth circling near the boards, gives it to Lemieux. Lemieux is forced off the puck, and Bekov comes back. Bekov for the Soviet Union. Bekov dropping it off. That's Davidov takes a shot over top of the net. Bekov around behind the net. Homotov against the boards in the corner, and it's cleared away, and Cullen's got it. Out at center ice. Cullen tried to cross the line. It's checked away from him and back in the Pittsburgh zone. Clearing it around behind his own net is Jim Johnson. Out to center ice past John Cullen. The Soviets come back. Kamensky is leveled as he hit the line by Johnson. And back comes Pittsburgh. Cleared in over the line. There's a shot, a screen shot down on his knees is Melnikov, and he cleared it wide. That shot was taken by Cullen. Up near the line now. Cullen turning with it in the center ice zone. He brings it right back in. He's hooked on the play as he crossed the line. Zemlak reaching for it. Cullen's in there as well. Puck is cleared behind the net. And it's Kazatonov. Out now for Kamensky at center ice. He leaves it for Homotov. Homotov and Bekov across the line. Homotov trying to get it to Kamensky. Intercepted by that big stick of Lemieux. He clears it in over the line now. Bukestad taking a shot. Lemieux is behind the net. Rolls up on the netting. Manages to poke it free. Brown behind the net. Players go down. There's going to be a penalty called on the Pittsburgh Penguins. 4 minutes and 18 seconds gone here in the second period. Still no score to report. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, Rob Brown goes for tripping at 4:18, and the Soviets will get a power play.
Watch Valery Kamensky here as he gets hit. Just takes his eyes off the defenseman. Jimmy Johnson, love those defensemen. Now, as soon as you see a forward take his eyes off of you and look someplace else, you take that one step forward and pop him.
And there's the penalty called against Brown behind the net. 0-0 here in the second period as Lemieux wins the faceoff cleanly. And it's cleared into the Soviet zone. Starikov deep in his own zone, working on the defense with Stelnov. Passes it ahead. That's Nemchinov at center ice. He's stopped on the plate. Dahlquist has got it to Lemieux. Here's Lemieux now working, getting set. And his stick was just lifted as he was preparing to let the shot go. Out at center ice now, Humilev. Humilev is knocked down as he hit the line by Dahlquist. Nice job. And here's Lemieux out at center ice. Leading the rush now for Pittsburgh is Airy to Lemieux. Loose in front of the net. It pops. It gets into the net. There was a player in the crease, and they say no goal. I wouldn't imagine so, as Lemieux was lying sprawled across the goal mouth.
Well, Ron, I think this is a wrong call because Mario Lemieux did not go in there of his own accord. He tried to pull the puck into his feet. He got cross-checked from behind. Here's a look as Airy's crossing the blue line. He's going to leave it for Lemieux. Keep your eye on here. Here's Bork moving up. Lemieux pulls in his feet from behind. He gets cross-checked, flies into the net. The puck careens from Bork and actually hits him and drifts into the net. I think it was a bad call by the official.
Watch the net. Was it off its mooring? Apparently that was the call.
Just trickles over the line.
The call was it was off its mooring. That was Morozov's ruling on the play.
We're going to have to get a translation of that one, I'm telling you right now.
Well, try again. Kurutov from the faceoff. Konstantinov deep in his end. Leaves for Kurutov. He's got some room now. Minute 15 remaining in the Soviet penalty. Out of center ice they come. Clear to the line now. I say Soviet penalty, a Pittsburgh penalty. Around the boards, Fetisov. Fetisov trying to check it loose at the boards, and he is checked there by Dave Hannon. Soviets again get organized. Larionov to the line. Larionov right past Kurutov to Fetisov. Fetisov as Konstantinov moves in. Switches Makarov back to Fetisov. Shot over top of the net. Makarov picks it up along the boards. Tries to flip it for Kurutov. Now he's got it. Back out to Konstantinov. His shot is blocked at the defense. And going after it in his own zone is Loney, being checked by Larionov. Makarov is in there. So's Fetisov. Loney's down on his knees. Puck batted out of midair. Makarov there. And it comes back to the point. Konstantinov, his shot deflected just wide. Good skate save there by Wendell Young. I don't think he saw it till the last instant. Now it's Kurutov. Karutov back out, pass, Larionov and down the ice. Karutov deked his own man there as Konstantinov goes back. He's number 16. Gets it again. To the line, drops it off in full flight. Now Karutov. Karutov at center ice, drops it off for Larionov. Larionov working to the line, drops it down for Fetisov. Fetisov moving in. The shot is blocked at the defense by Bourque. Out comes Pittsburgh. The penalty is over. In over the line, Cunneyworth. Cunneyworth trying to get it in front. Blocked neatly at the defense by Humalev. Stelnov behind the net. Jamming there along with Quinn. Brown goes down. He's just out of the penalty box. And the Soviets with Fetisov getting that long lead pass, but it's intercepted by Dykstra in the center ice zone and flipped back in again. Back to get it. Stelnov along the boards. He took a hit as he unloaded that pass from Frawley. Kicked along the boards again from the point by Bourque. Fetisov going after it in the corner. He just pokes it loose and gets it to Stelnov. Stelnov to Larionov. They've been out a long time, this unit. Makarov at center ice. Makarov bringing it to the line. He's in to Pittsburgh territory. Makarov into the slot for Fetisov. Unloads the pass now. Trying to get the shot away. Right in front of the net was Davidoff and unable to. Out at center ice. Turning for the Soviets, Chernik. Rink wide. Zelapukhin. Davidoff hits the line. He's checked as he got in there. Davidoff's after it. Puck cleared near the line, but not out as it's kept in by Gusarov. Now Cunneyworth trying to get loose. Out at center ice for Lemieux. He's checked. Checked as he got in there. Davidoff's after it. Puck cleared near the line, but not out as it's kept in by Gusarov. Now Cunneyworth trying to get loose. Out at center ice for Lemieux. He's checked. Cunneyworth clears it into the Soviet zone. Kazatonov back behind his own net. Brown goes down, trying to check him as Gusarov gets the pass. Gusarov out for Zelapukhin at center ice. Zelapukhin's over the line now. Drops it back for Davidoff. Clears it around the boards. Wendell Young can't contain it back there. Zelapukhin behind the net. Poking it loose is Johnson. Cleared out to center ice. Knocked down out there by Gusarov. Gusarov, Zelapukhin's unable to get loose as Brown gets it ahead now for Lemieux. Lemieux trying to find a man in front of that net. Dykstra has moved for the net. Lemieux's got it again. Clears it behind the net. Just steered into the corner by Erie. Lemieux knocks it out of midair. Lemieux getting it back near the line. Now Erie moving in. Brown out into the slot. There's nobody there, and it clears the blue line and goes down into the Pittsburgh zone. Back to get it is Dineen. Dineen off the boards. He's checked. They work to the line now. Pittsburgh with Lemieux making a move just inside the line. Getting away from a check there by Homotop. Now Brown. Erie in the corner on the far side. Back to Brown behind the net. Lemieux floating around in the high slot. And it's checked away, and Kazatonov takes over for the Soviets to Bekov. Bekov to Homotop. Homotop over the line. Homotop getting set. Looking for that late man. He gets it to Kazatonov, who pinched in, but it was stripped away from him by Brown, and Brown's got it at center ice. In the center ice zone, Homotop unable to control it as it's cleared in. Cullen getting it in there. Malakoff. Long time between whistles again. Malakoff out at center ice. Here's Dahlquist. Soviets on the attack. Kamensky is knocked to the ice. He was checked there by Buskus. And Pittsburgh out at center ice. Cleared past the forward to Starikov inside the zone and is called on an offside. 9 minutes and 47 seconds gone here in the second period. No score. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Brad, you like to get into the game early, and I think Wendell Young is into it quickly.
Well, watch Konstantinov just crank one here. The right, it deflected off the defenseman, Buskus, and the right pad of Wendell Young come up with a big save there. You know, as a defenseman in Buskus' spot, when a guy's cranking it from the top of the circle or out there, you're not going to get to him. You got to start picking people up coming out of the corners.
That's Starikov unloading a pass as they bring it to the line. It's flipped in close to the net by Davidoff. That's swinging away as Bukestad in his own zone. He's checked. Back out near the line. It's Malakoff. Got to get in deep again. Yemchinov is Checked and it's back out to center ice now. Bjugstad hitting the line. Bjugstad along with Cullen, and he's offside. And we'll get another face-off as we cross the midway point of the second period. Still no score in this game. There's Humalev. Plays with the Wings of the Soviet. But he's also been on 2 world championship teams and an Olympic club. There's 3 gold medals to show for his hockey career so far.
Well, we're seeing more of him tonight. We haven't seen too much of Humalev in the games coming up to this one. We've been, seeing their main guys, but as the series has been going on, Pekin has not been afraid to throw different people into his lineup.
Well, I think weariness is setting in too. When we talk about problems that teams at home have getting ready for this. There's Larionov to Karutov. That's offside. I believe it's Makarov got in too quickly, so we'll have a face-off outside the blue line. But this team, of course, there's Vladimir Karutov. This team also is facing a wearying travel schedule, a long way, 8 time zones away from home. And they are going from city to city, living out of suitcases. Not easy.
It's been tough on this guy. He's been cutting the cheek. He's been cutting the ear. And he's starting to wear thin on his nerves. Actually, I don't think any Soviet team has really come over here, a club team, and played more than 4 games. So these guys have, this is their 5th game tonight.
They got 2 more to go. Here's Makarov over the line. Makarov trying to get set. And he went to the side of the net. One thing about Karutov, he is a tough guy. Here's Larionov right in front of the net. Doesn't complain too much. He takes his lumps. And he's a target out there, of course, as one of the Soviet stars. Bjugstad's number 27 for Pittsburgh in there. Bjugstad checked. He's cleared out to center ice. Pittsburgh with Deneen shooting it in. In the corner for the Soviets. That's Konstantinov taking a whack at Karutov. Karutov ahead. Fetisov smoothly going through center ice. But puck is stripped away from him. Back comes Pittsburgh with Hannon taking a shot. Big collision behind the net as Caulfield nailed Fetisov. Now Makarov. Krutov alone in front. The shot right on, and it bounced over top of the net. And Wendell Young made the save. There's going to be an elbowing penalty. 11:32 gone here in the second period. No score. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. A little too much enthusiasm for Jay Caulfield. An elbowing penalty on Fetisov at 11:32.
Oh, wow, we had 3 hooking penalties in the first period, but things are starting to heat up a little bit here as Jay Caulfield does get the elbow up on Fetisov. Watch here as he's moving in. All they had to do is keep that elbow. Well, actually, the elbow was down. Fetisov was bent over. But watch Deneen get a stick on this puck at the other end and deflects it over the net. A good play by Gord Deneen as he got back into the play, back into the slot, and made that deflection.
On the face-off now with the Soviets on the power play. They're down the ice. Milnikov is out. Leaves it for Kazatonov. They have Bekov along with his line mates. Cleared by Homotov. And Kamensky, the rest of the line. And back out at center ice it comes with Johnson. Johnson bringing it in. Johnson easily steering it across the goal mouth. I think Milnikov played that a little too casually as Gusarov brings it out to center ice. Now here's Kamensky. Kamensky, great speed as he whipped around the defense and got the shot away. I don't think Buskus was prepared for that kind of speed. Now Kamensky again. Kamensky out to the blue line. Kazatonov to Kamensky. Kamensky winding up the shot. The glove save. Would it have missed the net? I don't know. But good reaction from Wendell Young. Kamensky from a bad angle.
Well, Kamensky pulling it from the bad angle, and I believe it was going wide of the net. The fellow who is really upset about this is Alexei Kazatonov, who was standing out of the blue line, dead center. Here's Kamensky finding a hole and going to the outside. Buskus waves his stick, but he regroups with a dive and helps deflect that puck wide. And now Kamensky gets the puck back on the sideboards. This is not a good percentage shot. Not from over there, because number 1, it's a bad angle to shoot. Number 2, if you do miss the net, that puck's going to go around the boards, and usually it goes all the way down to the other end.
Yeah, they've got the big line out there now. If you consider Karutov and Larionov and Makarov as the big line. The other guys are pretty good as well, and they were the top-scoring line in the Soviet Union last year. The Bekov line. Larionov in the forecheck. Puck is cleared down the ice.
Ron, one of the things that Gene Ubriaco, the coach of the Penguins, has been using more this year than before. He's been using Mario Lemieux to kill penalties. A lot of times he'll try to throw him out there in the second half of a penalty because he may be facing a tired first power play unit or a weaker second power play unit.
Looking for perhaps a shorthanded goal as much as defense. Here's Kasatonov over the line, and the puck again is checked out to center ice. Larionov back inside his own zone. Kasatonov ahead. Steered back by Larionov. This line has not been the Soviets' best line tonight, that's to be sure. Here's Larionov with Karutov and Makarov. Karutov gets the pass. He's got room. This shot hit the post and winds up out at the point. Now Fetisov, he gets a good move around Lemieux, gets it in deep. There's a quick shot, hit the side of the net. That was taken by Lemieux, and a player's down in behind the net. That is Karutov, who took another whack apparently behind the net.
Well, Krutov come down on the power play. He makes a great shot off the post, but does he ever get cold-cocked right after he shoots the puck? Watch here. He moves it to the side. You're going to see number 4, Dahlquist, come over. Dahlquist is going to continue to take him out, and he went into the end boards very, very hard.
And the puck came back out near the point.
Here's another look at it. Watch the puck go off the post, but keep your eye on Krutov right there. He went in very, very hard. Could be a leg, it could be his back. Right now, we don't know.
Well, it's been one of those games, no score, plenty of action. 13:34 gone here in the second period as the trainer is out looking at Karutov.
That is one player that I think is going to be very, very hard to hit. Here's Krutov. Watch him shoot off his left leg. Now he puts it down, but look at the check there by Dahlquist, and he goes into the boards in full flight.
All right. So Karutov is up, and he is favoring that left knee, it would appear. We'll take a break. No score. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Karutov remains at the Soviet bench. Listen in here now.
No, they don't go to the dressing room.
I don't know who we're listening to. There's the referee that's down at the, she's down at the other bench. One of the linesmen talking.
I think it's his whole body. He really got wiped out.
This is, I believe, our microphone from the bench.
That was the voice of one of the linesmen you heard. He's in pain. Karutov, as I said, he's really had a rough go here. He's one of those players that throws it all into the game. So as they help him off the ice, to a hand from the fans here at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena, we'll take another break. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. You look at the bench there, just off a little bit to the left of Viktor Tikhonov is a very familiar face. Boris Mikhailov, who for years was one of the great stars of the Soviet team and now an assistant coach. In fact, one of the all-time scoring leaders in Soviet hockey history. Puck is cleared down to Dan Quinn inside the zone. Just about 6 minutes remaining in the second period. Quinn doing a good job against the Soviet defense. Out near the line, pitching in is Johnson. They're behind the net. Getting a little rough out there right now as Frawley battles up against the boards, and Frawley upended Stelnov, but the Soviets come away with it. Out at center ice now, the Soviets had to get set in the slot, and loose in there was Zelapukhin, but he was checked on the play. Back out at... They turn once again. Here's Davidov. Davidov at center ice. Chernik over the line. Zelapukhin, he is knocked to the ice by Rob Brown, and Cunneyworth's got it. Cunneyworth to the line. Cunneyworth shooting it in. Cunneyworth behind the net now. Cunneyworth still fighting off the checking of Kasatonov, and a big heavy check is thrown in there by Bekov. Back out near the blue line. Now Airy throws a check. Move in deeply. Bork being checked on the play. Boy, good contact in here as Gusarov manages to strip the puck loose. And it's cleared along the boards. Now Kamensky, and he threw a check up against the boards on Airy. And it's brought back out to center ice. Cleared back in. Gusarov back to get it for the Soviets. It's called on the icing. And we'll get a face-off down in the Pittsburgh end of the ice as you look at Alexei Gusarov, a very physical kind of a player. Not great technically, but he's coming along.
Well, Ron, the Soviets are very, very upset at losing Krutov to that check. The tempo and the physical part of this game is just picked up. We played about 30 seconds or 40 seconds in the Soviet end. Gusarov was in front of the net with Frawley, was giving him a rough ride. Then they went back over to the other corner, and Frawley made sure that he put Gusarov on his back. So it's starting to get a little chippy out here. It could get a little crude.
Well, we'll see what happens. You're right. Larionov now, and they've moved Kumalev into the line with Larionov and Makarov. There's another check, and down on the play goes Phil Bourque. Through all of this, the sticks have been down. Let's hope it remains that way. Puck is chipped out to center ice. Now Erie comes in over the line. Erie to Brown. A shot scores! Mario Lemieux getting that pass from Bob Erie on the far side.
I'm not sure it was a great shot by number 66, but it sure handcuffed Milnikov. Watch here as it breaks out. The puck gets batted into Erie's chest here. He keeps in front of him. He's going to slide it over to number 66, Mario Lemieux, and he shoots it right away. I'm not sure he got a lot on, but Milnikov really handcuffed him. He started to go down and couldn't get a good grip on. Here's the shot. It was a nutmer, and Milnikov just couldn't handle it.
Also one of those shots, Brad, where the player is fading out and beats it across the seam almost. And it had, I think, Milnikov moving the wrong way. Erie getting the assist on Lemieux's goal at 15:27, 1-0. Pittsburgh leads. Here's a shot for the Soviets. That one taken wide of the net by Konstantinov. And we have got a holding penalty called on the Pittsburgh Penguins. And going off will be Chris Dahlquist. 1-0. Pittsburgh leads it with 4:10 remaining in the period. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Chris Dahlquist for interference at 15:50. The Soviets go on the power play. Here's the penalty.
In the corner, there's Dahlquist going over. Having a little problem with the car up, but he just takes his stick and rips it out of his hand. Here's another look at the goaltender. The shot by Mario Lemieux. And it's a knuckleball coming in on Milnikov. And as you can see, it hit him not in the mitt, but actually in the wrist. It trickled by him.
So the faceoff will be about 10 feet inside the blue line. The Soviets will have Chernik centering this line. Still not unable to control it. Davidoff in the center ice zone. The other member of the line is Zelapukhin. And Chernik through center ice now. Chernik over the line. Trying to poke it free. Pittsburgh's doing a tremendous job defensively in this game. Out of center ice, Troy Loney shooting it in. They have really not given the Soviets the type of room they're used to seeing. Still no. Pretty good game plan on the part of Gene Ubriaco.
Well, they have been jamming him up in center ice and really not giving him the blue line, which is great to see when you're killing a penalty. The Soviets are 0 for 3 tonight on the power play.
Zelapukhin shooting it in wide of the net. Dykstra throwing it up to Lemieux, just wrists it out to center ice. Stelnov back on the defense. Starikov. Turning. Davidoff. Now as they make a change, Homotov is out there, so the big scoring line is out there for the Soviets now. It's cleared around the boards. Lemieux getting it right to center ice for Erie, who's got some room, and he shot it high as he was checked just as he raced towards the net. Coming back on the play was Gusarov. Now again, that's Bekov. Bekov tried to clear it to center ice. Lemieux reached out, intercepted that, but Bekov got it back again. Now Lemieux gets him as he hits the line, and Lemieux unloaded into the corner. Kazatonov to Bekov. Past Kamensky. Behind the net, Jim Johnson picks it up. Johnson then fires it off the boards. Pinching in is Gusarov. He tries to ease it to Bekov. That failed to work. It's steered towards the line, kicked back into the corner by Kamensky. Homotov can't handle a puck that took a bad bounce off the boards. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty as Bekov's in over the line again. Bekov Bekoff out near the line, unable to control it as it's steered away, and here's Lemieux. Back again, Lemieux clearing it into the slot. Turning with it is Dykstra. Soviets again. Gusarov cleared in front, the shot, scores! Right across the goal mouth for John Cullen. Cullen rattled it off the post and into the net, and it's 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Well, if you're a defenseman and you're going to cover somebody in front of the net, the first guy you're going to cover is Mario Lemieux, and while he gets picked up in the front of the net, John Cullen gets the pass out from the corner from Dan Quinn. Watch here as Quinn picks the puck off the boards with his skates, steals the puck. Now watch here as Kasatonov takes Lemieux. The puck comes across to Cullen, and he just banks it in off the post and gives the Pittsburgh Penguins a 2-0 lead. Here's the pass across off the post and in the net.
Well, you saw there the Gusarov taking his man, but Kamensky had let Cullen go, and that's the reason why Cullen was all alone at the side of the net. Big check thrown in the center ice zone by Buskus, right at the Soviet bench. That one on Homolev. The Soviets down 2-0 now. Homolev gets the pass. Number 31 for the Central Army. The pass now, Makarov going in on the backhand, trying to get it out in front. There was nobody there, and he was checked pretty well on the play in any case, and Cullen's got it. Cullen clearing it in. To get it for the Soviets now is Konstantinov. Now Larionov dropping it off. Fetisov clearing it up near the line. Humolev unable to get loose. Now Makarov looking in. Makarov clearing it deep into the slot. Now Humolev dropping it off. Fetisov unable to get loose. And back comes the Pittsburgh Penguins at center ice. Caulfield over the line along with Hannon. It throws it into the slot, and Humolev cross-checked Hannon on the play, and we're going to get a penalty called on the Central Army. They trail 2-0. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Yuri Humilev off on the cross-checking call. Here's the reason why.
Well, you're going to go to the net. Sometimes you've got to pay the price, and there's Humilev putting the cross-check on the Pittsburgh Penguins player. Here's a good angle of it that shows you Kasatonov going to Lemieux. And I was right. John Cullen did bank it off the post. John Cullen, a familiar name in Southern Ontario, especially the Toronto area, where his father, Barry Cullen, was a prominent player. His brother, Brian, and his other brother, Ray. I grew up watching those guys. I was just a kid, so it shows you how old they are.
Well, when the Suns are playing, you know you're getting on. Here's Lemieux now. Back out to the line, Johnson. Back to Johnson again from Lemieux. Johnson back to Lemieux. There's the shot. He scores! 3-0 Pittsburgh. Well, they just played it back and forth between Jimmy Johnson and Mario Lemieux. And Lemieux with a great shot. Just drove it in there.
Well, I think in both goals that Lemieux has got, they've been great shots. But watch, keep your eye on Melnikov. He's going to be down. The book on Melnick gets deflected by the side of the net.
That's Rob Brown there.
Rob Brown deflects it up over Melnikov. Here's the one-timer shot. There's Brown sneaking around. He had been got shut out on the other side as he tried to get in front of the net. So he went around the other side of the net, and look what happened.
Well, last minute and 16 seconds has been pretty good for the Penguins. Actually, the last 4 minutes have been good. They've scored 3 goals, and they lead the game 3-0. All of this coming after the injury to Krutov. Here's Gusarov at center ice. The long drifting shot steered into the corner. Bekoff picks it up. Also moving in there is Homutov. Homutov up against the boards. He's checked. Kamensky back behind the net, number 13. Trying to work it in front. And once again, Pittsburgh on the move. Out at center ice. Clearing it out there was Hannon. Back inside his own zone. Gusarov with 7 seconds remaining in the period. Bekoff. 3-0 Pittsburgh leading. Gets it into Konstantinov. It's cleared in. And the period ends. And the Pittsburgh Penguins come up with 3 late goals in the period. The shots on goal in the period for the Army 6, for Pittsburgh 5. But 3 of the 5. Action by Rob Brown. This may be a good time, down 3-0, to let the other guy have a bit of a shot here.
Well, every goaltender has his day, I guess, and this is going to be the day for Sergei Golashov, right?
Golashumov.
Golashumov. I knew you'd know the right way to pronounce it. Ron, as you are our expertise on the pronunciation of the European names. I've always been impressed by that.
Oh,
and
very
I
good.
continue to be so.
This is his 6th year playing in the Soviet League, but his only international experience was during the Junior World Championships when he played as a backup goaltender for the Soviets. Plays for Moscow Spartak. Well, we'll see how he does here. Certainly no pressure on him, down 3-0. Win-win situation here. Fetisov behind his own net. Being forechecked on the play by Scott Bukestad, number 27. He gets a weak pass away that's intercepted at the line by Cullen. Cullen has one of the goals. Then Cullen is checked on the play, and it's back out to center ice. Here's Makarov all alone going in on goal. Makarov scores! Not much Wendell Young could do about that one, and suddenly it's 3-1.
Well, Sergei Makarov just breaking loose on the right wing. Kind of just looking for the opening. The Soviets pick it up as he gets by Steve Dykstra, but a great pass by Fetisov that breaks him away. Now watch as he goes in here. He's got a great shot. He looks, look at the room upstairs. He sees it, and that goes in just under the crossbar. Here's another look at it from behind the net. That hit the top of the mesh. And the lesser circles of the practice area, they call that Dimple City up there.
Makarov, who is consistently the Soviet scoring champion, 7 of the last 8 years now, and you see why. Given that kind of opportunity, and he very seldom will make a mistake. Now the Soviets now trail by 2. A goal coming at the 31-second mark. Fetisov draws the assist out of center ice now. They come once again as Kamensky tries to pull his way past Jimmy Johnson. Is unable to do it. Cleared away by Dineen. Now in the corner, Johnson clearing it around behind the net. Was Dineen got it around the net to Johnson. Out to center ice it comes. Big 66. Lemieux to Erie. Erie getting some room himself. He scores! And Golashumov, first international shot on goal. He didn't look very good on. He gave him too much room.
Oh, Bob Erie really picking the upper corner. Not necessarily a great angle like he's dead in front, but he really cranks it. And the goaltender for the Soviet Union, Golashumov, watch him go down here. As he goes down, the puck's on his way up. He has everything covered, but down he goes, and he pulls his left elbow into his body, and that's right where the puck goes and beats him cleanly.
He also looked like he blew the angle a bit, Brad. He just seemed to leave too much of the far side of the net. Maybe if he'd been out a little bit more, it helped himself. And of course, many of the Soviet goaltenders don't play the angles much. They just like to stay back in the crease.
Well, you notice we had a goaltending change at the end of the first period, and Wendell Young got a warm-up. Unfortunately, the Soviet goaltender did not get a warm-up starting this third period.
He didn't ask for it. Lemieux and Johnson drawing the assist on the Erie goal, and a player is decked out in the center ice zone, and we're going to get a penalty. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, in a minute and 36 seconds of the third period, we've had 2 goals and an elbowing penalty handed out. That to Rod Buskus. Play underway, intercepted near the line. The Soviets with Fetisov, but he had the puck checked away from him by Troy Loney, and it's down the ice. Golashumov out of his net. Soviets trying to get underway. Out at center ice, Nemchinov gets it to Makarov. Nemchinov gets it again. Around behind the net he goes. Makarov trying to settle into the slot area in front, then fades to the far boards and is cleared down the ice. Back to get it. Konstantinov. Makarov. At center ice, Makarov to the line, still maintaining possession of that puck, drops it into the slot. Now it's back to Fetisov, takes it on his backhand, feeds it now for Konstantinov. Knocked down by Larionov, but knocked away from him and cleared down the ice under the checking of both Erie and Lemieux.
Well, Makarov showing a little frustration because he worked the puck all the way down to the end and skated back outside the blue line. That's him on the boards, shaking his head because the Soviets have not been able to penetrate.
Now cleared back to the point. Stelnov has got it there. Number 21 to Fetisov. Fetisov checked by Lemieux. In deep for Larionov. Larionov over now. Here's a shot by Stelnov. Cleared right on. They score on a rebound. And the Soviets have added another goal. This one on a power play as Davidov was right at the goal mouth area and in position to pick up a rebound.
Well, lots of action around the goal. Here's the shot by the point man. Keep your eye on Davidov right by the side of the net as he just sweeps it into the net, standing in the right place at the right time. Here's another look at. Here's the point shot. Young has trouble controlling it, but it trickles to his right. And there's Davidov just sweeping it into the net. Brings the Soviet back to 4-2.
What an eventful first 2 minutes and 55 seconds here. 3 goals have been scored. Pittsburgh, I think, has got its work cut out for them right here in this third period, with the way things are going. That is, if the Soviets don't open things up too much and find themselves giving up the 2-on-1. Going in is Davidov. He's knocked down on the play. No penalty called on that. And the puck is cleared out to center ice once again. Back there is Stelnov. Cleared out through center ice. Trying to work it loose is Zelapukin, but it's checked away from him. And Gord Dineen has it. Johnson back to Dineen. Kicks it out to center ice. Carries himself and then clears it down into the Soviet zone. Racing in after it. John Cullen. He's checked, but the puck comes around behind the net for Bukestad. Bukestad checked off the puck, and Stelnov has got it for the Soviets. Stelnov dropping it off. The Soviets on the attack once again as at center ice is Davidov. Davidov clearing it in. Behind the net, it hops over the stick of Wendell Young, goes all the way to the corner. Collected inside. There's a quick deflection by Davidov right in the slot area. And very alertly, Wendell Young steered that behind the net. Now kicked loose once again. Bukestad. Bukestad being checked by Bekov. It's cleared through center ice. Down into his own zone is Kazatonov. Behind his own net. Penalty has expired. Homotov trying to get it to Kamensky, who was upended in the center ice zone. Wendell Young out of his net to leave it for Buskus, who in turn unloads to Chris Dahlquist. Dahlquist in his own blue line for the Penguins. Clears it ahead. Down into the Soviet zone. Kazatonov back there. Kazatonov for Gusarov out at center ice. Kamensky to the line, trying to get around Buskus, and he is pushed up into the corner and out of harm's way. Back out in front. There's a quick shot, the rebound, another shot, and it's batted away. I don't know how that puck stayed out of the net as Homotov had 3 whacks at it. Now back out to the blue line to center ice. There's Gusarov. Gusarov clearing it to the line. Homotov turning. In over the line they come once again. There's Bekov. Glove save, Wendell Young. Good action around the Pittsburgh net. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Pittsburgh leading 4-2, but look out, the Soviets are coming, Brad.
Well, it'll be great goaltending all the way through the game by the Penguins here. Watch as the puck flicks around the net. It's going to end up. There's a glove save by Young. He gets batted out. Looks a little bit like rugby around there. Everybody knocking it to each other by hands. Now Young comes out here on Bekov and makes a spectacular glove save. Just taking that puck right away from Bekov's shot.
Shots on goal in this period 6-1 in favor of the Soviets. Can Pittsburgh hang on here? Into the slot it goes. It's cleared off into the corner by the defense. Basically one end of the ice since this period started, but the one shot that Pittsburgh has had went into the net. Mario Lemieux ahead for Dykstra. Dykstra set over the line to Erie in the corner. Erie looking for a man out in front. There's a quick shot. There's a save. Another save made by Golashumov. And I think all he did was get in the way of those. I don't think there was anything programmed about it at all. There's going to be a penalty, and I believe it's against the Soviets. And time to take one. 14-14 left in regulation time. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Some pressure on the Soviet goal, and that's what eventually led to the penalty to Konstantinov for hooking.
Well, Sergei Golashumov having a little bit of action down at his end. It wasn't going that way early in the period, but he makes a big save as Lemieux tips it towards the net. Wants a pass out here as he redirects it, but Lemieux directs it back in, hits him on the right pad. almost comes back in front of the net. And as the play moved over the far corner, here's Konstantinov hooking down Rob Brown.
Well, based on what I've seen so far in this period, I can understand why Goloshumov hasn't got any international experience. He just doesn't play with much confidence out there. Now behind his own net, Bukestad. Bukestad to Lemieux. Lemieux tries to clear it in front. It's intercepted by the Soviets, and out they come at center ice now. Starikov getting it to the line. Starikov leaving it for Makarov up against the boards. Got tangled up with Starikov. And now Makarov out to center ice, killing off some time. Soviets, Starikov will get it deep in his own zone. Fetisov cutting in front of his net. Fetisov working with Starikov. Out of center ice, Makarov couldn't hold that. Jimmy Johnson takes over and then turns it over to Phil Bourque deep in his end. Using Bourque on defense basically through most of the year. He's been played up front as a left winger. But because of the absence of a couple of key defensemen, namely Paul Coffey and Zarley Zalapsky, they put him back on the blue line for this game. Now Johnson deep in his own zone. Johnson working. There's 50 seconds left in the power play. Tried to clear it ahead for Lemieux. Goloshumov out of his net. Cleared off the boards, but not out. Here's a fake shot from the blue line. That one taken by Bourque. Now up against the boards. Bourque gets it again. Returns the pass to Quinn. Behind the net, Quinn's got it. Quinn in the corner for Lemieux. Lemieux unloading a pass that was intended for Jim Johnson up at the blue line, and it winds up down in the Pittsburgh zone with 20 seconds left in the power play. Johnson from behind his own net. Pittsburgh has made a change. At center ice, backhand pass by Gord Dineen. Cleared in. Checking in the corner is Kasatonov. Moving in from the blue line is Dineen. Clears to the side of the net, but no further, and it's cleared down the ice, and the penalty has expired. Behind his own net, it's Wendell Young leaving it for his defenseman, Steve Dykstra. Dykstra's at center ice with the puck. Dykstra unloading a pass. Puck hits Dykstra in the back as the Soviets try to clear it away. And now Homotov. Homotov for Bekov. Bekov to the line. Homotov. Kaminsky going for the front of the net. Nobody there to get that pass as Kasatonov picks it off. Gets it to Homotov. On his knees in the corner. Gives it to Kaminsky. Kaminsky checked in there by John Cullen. And Pittsburgh comes away with it. Frawley at his own blue line to center ice. Frawley to the line with Cunningworth. Frawley still has that puck. He's got Cullen in front of the net. If he can get it to him out in front, there's a shot. Another shot. This one by Buskas. Glove save by Goloshumov. And he'll hold on. 8 minutes, 36 seconds gone. Here in the third period, the Penguins lead the Army 4-2. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, Rod Buskas getting a good shot away on Goloshumov, and this time Goloshumov came up with a save.
Well, here's the pass coming out. Buskas doesn't waste any time, but Goloshumov is right there to make the save. Looking at him in the net there, we just had a close-up on him. He has that throat protector, but usually a goaltender's throat protector flops down. His almost sticks straight out. I don't know how he'd see the puck in his feet.
Probably doesn't. Over the line with a backhand shot and a kick save. Shot taken by Larionov as he came in over the line. Soviets again with Starikov at center ice. Starikov is now playing with Fetisov. They bring it to the line again. Larionov trying to squeeze through. Yemchinov's on this line now. He gets the puck. Tried to clear it in front. Now gets it again. Yemchinov gets a return pass, but that one from Makarov went right through Yemchinov's legs. And once again, Pittsburgh takes over. Out near the line, Loney. Buskas checked on the play, and it's backhanded into the corner. Dahlquist backhanded along the boards. Loney clearing it down the ice. Back to get it for the Soviets is Chernik. Bad pass in front of the net, but the Soviets cover up on that play. Now turning is Malakhov. He gets a return pass behind the net. Right to the side of the net. Backhand shot. Loose puck, another shot. That one wide. Both of those taken by Randy Cunningworth. Again at center ice. Leading the rush for the Soviets is Davidov, and way offside on the left wing was Zelepukin. Well, let's take a look at some of the scores elsewhere. The regular NHL games. Well, first of all, Chicago in the exhibition game at Chicago Stadium is leading Riga 2-0. Buffalo leading Hartford 4-3 in the third. Washington at Madison Square Garden leading the Rangers in the third. St. Louis trailing Detroit at Joe Louis Arena in the third period, 4-2. Winnipeg at home against Vancouver and leading in the second.
Ron, a lot of credit has been really have to be given. The Penguins have really played well tonight. They've really held up the Central Army's power play. The power play is 0 for 5 tonight, and they got 3 power play goals against New Jersey. So they've done a great job on the special teams. They've also got themselves a power play goal. But overall, the defense without Coffey and Zalapsky has really played a great game tonight.
Kamensky inside his own line leaves it for Kazatonov out at center ice. Bekov. The line come the Soviets. Now here's Kazatonov trying to get it across the goal mouth area for Kamensky. That's stopped. Inside the line, cleared out to center ice. Lemieux is floating around in the center ice zone. Lemieux intercepts, he's got it open net, they shoot. Oh, the save is made at the goal mouth by Gusarov. Sliding across with Golashumov completely out of position. And Gusarov made the save of the night. Here's Lemieux. He shoots it to the side of the net, goes after it himself, takes a bump. Gusarov knocks him away, and the puck is cleared away. Homotov out off the stick of Bekov in the center ice zone and cleared right back in again. Gusarov cleared to the side of the net. Pittsburgh buzzing around once again. Airy getting it to Lemieux. He circles under the checking of Bekov. Lemieux shielding that puck beautifully up against the boards. Gusarov's on top of him. Now Lemieux looking for some room, trying to clear it in front. And Gusarov out in front of the net. It's loose at the side of the net now as Airy takes a whack at it and is held out by Golashumov. Quite a show there by Mario Lemieux. 11:17 gone in the third period. 4-2 Pittsburgh. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. As you look at Rob Brown, he was at the side of the net and the recipient of that effort by Mario Lemieux.
Watch Mario really pick up Brown right here quickly. Wasted no time, but a very heads-up play by Gusarov. Alexei Gusarov just sliding across and taking away that goal.
Fetisov behind the net in a battle there with Dan Quinn. Out at center ice once again. Trying to shoot it in there. And again, it's such a great job Pittsburgh is doing bottling up the lanes here tonight.
I'll tell you, the one thing they're doing really well is they're really concentrating on not giving up the blue line. And I think that's one of the things that Gene Ubriaco said this morning. They're really going to work on some different things.
Dykstra over the line now. Dykstra turning, clears it in front. Knocked away. The Soviets in possession, though, deep in the Pittsburgh end. They tried that long pass out to Fetisov at the point, but it was intercepted. And a long drifting shot taken from center ice that Golashumov handled. Cunningworth in there forechecking. Also in there is Quinn. Quinn behind the net, checked off the puck. And Fetisov unloads the pass. And Quinn, good job again forechecking. Quinn trying to shoot it in deep. Cullen out at center ice. Also is Davidov, number 11 for the Soviets, and it winds up coming down into the zone. Larionov in forechecking along with Davidov. Larionov checked by Quinn. Quinn clears it around the boards. Here's a shot taken from the boards by Davidov. Quinn's got it again. Quinn ahead. Knocked away. Now here's Makarov. Makarov tried to drop it. Now the shot. And that's steered away. Malakov from the blue line, number 7, took the shot. And Pittsburgh again at center ice. 7:05 left in regulation time. Pittsburgh leads by a goal as Caulfield has it at center ice, only to lose it. Now the fake shot by Stelnov. Score is 4-2. Pittsburgh leading. After shot in. After that puck there is Hannon. Hannon now in the corner. Trying to find a man in front. That was deflected by Stelnov into the corner. Bork steered it back behind the net again. Number 24 is Troy Loney back there. Dave Hannon, number 20, also working against the Soviet Chernik, number 26. Players go down, no penalty on the play. Now we've got a wrestling match involving Malakoff and Troy Loney. And a player down in the corner with 6:15 left in regulation time. Rob Brown down in the corner and in some difficulty, it would appear.
Well, Ron, I'm not really sure what happened, because over on the other side, we're going to get a look at it now. Brown goes in, but he takes the worst of it as he gets the stick across the side of the face by Igor Stelnov. Watch it here as he goes in. Stelnov sees him coming. He says, wait a minute. You want to keep coming? You're going to pay the price.
Especially with your stick up there. You're going to pay the price. And Stelnov gave it to him, and he really gave it to him.
I was looking on the other side here. We had Hanna, number 20 for Pittsburgh, ended up being checked by Malakoff. And what happened, Malakoff watched his stick. Hanna was cross-checking him. Malakoff grabbed his stick, and now they're both wrestling with Hanna's stick. And Hanna ended up putting Malakoff right down on the ice, right in front of the referee. No call. And then the play went over to the other side. I'm sure that the referee was not watching that.
Now Rob Brown is the player down in the corner. Played his junior hockey, Kamloops, BC. 24 goals as a rookie. We mentioned him at the outset of the game. He has a goal in this game. And terrific young player with a good touch around the net, as Brown apparently is all right and up. Concern there from Homotov in the corner. Is he up or not? He's all right, but shaking it off. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Pittsburgh leading the Soviets 4-2 after an excellent start. There's Golashumov and Wendell Young. An excellent start to the period for the Soviets. Pittsburgh in the last few minutes has come back. And the shots on goal have been narrowed to 26-22.
Well, we're looking at these two goaltenders, and neither of them started the game tonight, but they are going to finish it. We've had injuries to the other two goaltenders. Well, actually, Mielnikov probably got the hook, but these guys are getting some action that they didn't think they were going to get tonight.
Behind his own net, number 6 is Kazatonov, the Soviet veteran. Kamensky took a two-line pass there from Kazatonov, and we'll get a face-off 3 or 4 feet inside the blue line. 5:59 left in regulation time. There's Kamensky, 6'2", 198 pounds. I think that he wouldn't be a good player in the NHL.
Oh, he's a big, strong guy. He's got the speed to go with it, too. He can turn you on the outside. He can cut back on you on the inside. And, you know, he scored some big goals over the years for the Soviet team. And he's only 22 years old.
And a draft pick of the Quebec Nordiques, who would dearly love to have him. Now here's Bekov, clearing it across the goal mouth area, and Kamensky fanned on it. He was a little too eager on that one. Puck wound up in the corner. Bill Bourque around to the point, but Bekov takes a screen shot that's blocked at the defense by Bourque, and Mario Lemieux's got it. Lemieux at center, tried to get it to Erie. Back out at center ice, Kamensky turned the wrong way, took the pass, gives it to Homotov. Homotov intending it for Kamensky, and Bourque intercepted that. Ahead to Lemieux. Lemieux is checked by Kazatonov. Kamensky. Kamensky to the line. Bekov also with him. Kamensky stops in the corner now, being checked by Bourque. Tried to feed it there to Homotov, and Homotov couldn't get that pass in close quarters. Now here's Bekov. Bekov tried to duck around and check. Bourque took a check on a bump on him, and that knocked him off stride enough to force him into the corner, and the puck is cleared out. Bekov's got it again. Bekov, check, Erie, over the line now with Lemieux. Tried to get it across, and Fetisov was back in the play. Now Makarov at center ice. Makarov trying to work around the defense. Steered into the corner. Makarov battling along the boards with Jim Johnson. Makarov still with that puck. Clears it, rink wide, unable to knock it down was Larionov. Back out, Fetisov one times it, and he's wide of the net with a deflected shot. Puck is cleared out. Starikov is caught now as Quinn comes in. His shot, that hits Golashumov and winds up in the corner. Now Golashumov checks the puck loose. Turning in his zone, Nemchinov. Ahead for Fetisov. Soviets on the attack. Over the line. Fetisov out in front. Here's a shot. A save by Wendell Young. What a play on Wendell Young, who gave him a wide open net. And Makarov seemed to shoot it right into his glove as he reached back with that one.
Well, a thread of the needle by Fetisov puts Makarov in cold turkey. He beats Young, but doesn't beat him all the way.
Larionov now around behind the net, tries to jam it. Gets it again. Here's another shot as the Soviets buzz around. Now it's cleared off the boards and up over the glass, and it's called for the face-off. 3:28 left in regulation time. Penguins lead by 2. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, Makarov seemed to have the goal that would put the Soviets to within 1.
How would you like to have this goal? Need 1 goal for a $30,000 bonus, and something like that happened to you. Makarov skated around the net, looked up at the ceiling, shook his head, and said, "I don't believe it."
He just also said the same thing on the bench. There's some frustration there, like, how in the world do you miss a shot? I get the chance like that.
Well, we know he doesn't have a bonus for it, that's for sure.
He still likes to score. Out at center ice now. Malakoff knocked that down. 3:18 left. Here over the line they come again. Chernik taking a shot. Blocked at the defense. Goes all the way down the ice. Voloshumov quickly clears it up to the wing for Malakoff. Around the board. Stelnov can't knock it down. Hannon's got it in front of the net. Good chance there. But Loney couldn't hold it. Now chopped out by Chernik to center ice once again. Back they come. Zelapukin's over the line. This young line with Davidov, who's played well tonight. Davidov clearing it into the corner. Stelnov will pinch in. And he's got it. Now clears it in front. Bekov. Stelnov. Stelnov trying to find a man in front. Does, as he threw it right through there. But Davidov was unable to convert it. And down the ice it comes. We'll get an icing call here as Bekov goes back to pick it up. And with 2:32 left in regulation time, as we look at Bekov.
Not a big guy, but there's Tikhonov. The Soviets are not known for being great come-from-behind hockey clubs. He's going over some strategies, some miscues. The Penguins right now are making sure anytime the puck is down close to that net, they're collapsing everything to shut off the sure goals. They're leaving the perimeter open. They're leaving the point shots open. If the Soviets realize it, they may be able to capitalize on it with a good point shot.
From the face-off, Mario Lemieux wins the draw, but the Soviets beat him to it right there, and it winds up rolling over top of the net. Went up over the shoulder of Wendell Young and over the top of the net. Homotov getting it in front of the net. Kazatonov. Boy, it's been a good hockey game here. Now is a long shot attempt by Kamensky. Wendell Young out of the net. Kamensky trying to block it at the boards. Now Bekov. Bekov clearing it into the crowd in front of the net, and it's carried out of harm's way by the defense, but up along the boards now Bekov. Homotov. Bekov with some room, and he ran right into the traffic in front, as you said, Brad. They're bottling up that area. Now it's Kazatonov. Kazatonov to the line. Kazatonov getting it back to Kamensky. Kamensky's check. Here's Lemieux going one-on-one. Over the line. Gusarov's the only one back, and Gusarov took him out of the play. Played the man nicely. Homotov in his own zone. Kazatonov. Kamensky out at center ice. Bjugstad picks it up for the Penguins. Clears it off the boards and back inside the Soviet zone. 1:23 left in regulation time. The Soviets on the verge of losing their first game of this tour. Here's Makarov around the defense, and it rolled off the end of his stick as he tried to go to his forehand at the goal mouth area. Wendell Young was without his stick, and the defense helped him. Big check thrown up against the boards. Honeyworth clears it out to center ice with 1:02 left. Fetisov ahead. Fetisov gets the return pass. He comes through center ice. Fetisov still with that puck. Works into the corner. Tried to get a man in front. Number 22 working for the goal mouth area was Nemchinov. Now he's got it in the corner with 43 seconds left. Nemchinov. There's going to be a penalty called against the Pittsburgh Penguins with 37 seconds remaining in regulation time. 4-2. Pittsburgh leading.
Well, there's the referee tonight from the Soviet Union, Evgeny Morozov, and he's calling a penalty right now on Steve Dykstra. Watching the corner here. Watch here as Fetisov gets franked right here. Boom, down he goes. The play goes in the corner.
Charge, an elbow, whatever you want to call it.
Intent to commit mayhem. But it was funny because Fetisov got back up. The play went over in the corner, and when the whistle went, somebody else took a run at him. I think it was Frawley. Fetisov ducked under on him and just flipped him.
Well, for this final 37 seconds, you're going to see Makarov out there. Dykstra for charging. Makarov out there, along with Larionov, and the other lineman will be Nemchinov. Out of the point, Fetisov. And they've got Starikov, so you've got a veteran defense.
You notice they haven't pulled the goaltender, which would be highly unusual in the National Hockey League.
Here's Fetisov, shot right on, rebound, loose puck bouncing around in front of the net, comes back out to Starikov. He winds up the shot, bounces loose again as it's blocked at the goal mouth area. Larionov piles in against the boards, and they hold it there, and with 22 seconds left, we'll have a face-off deep in the Pittsburgh zone.
Ron, you find it hard, we've always talked about the Soviets never pulled their goaltender. Now here's a game, they're down by 2 goals, they got 30 seconds left in the game, 37 seconds, and they haven't even thought about pulling the goaltender. He's standing there, okay boys, I know I'm not going to see the puck. Let's have a relaxed attitude out here. You're thinking the National Hockey League, the coach would be blasted in the papers tomorrow for not pulling his goaltender in a situation like this.
Just don't do it. And that dates back to the days when tournaments and so on were decided by goals for and against, and you didn't want to give up an empty net goal. Puck is cleared around the boards. Chopped at the line. Makarov clearing it now. Here's Starikov on the far boards. 13 seconds left. Starikov. He's got Fetisov on the boards. They keep them on the outside now. Nothing's going to happen here, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to defeat the Central Army. As time ticks away, Fetisov picks up that puck at the blue line and cleared it down into his own zone. And the siren goes to end the hockey game. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, in a thoroughly entertaining game against the Central Army, have defeated the Soviets. The final score, Pittsburgh 4, the Army 2. Shots on goal. 29-23 favor the Soviet Union. But 23 of the 23 shots, 4 Penguin shots, went into the net. Shots on goal in the third period, 17-13 favor the Army. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.